Alright, before I fill up and all this cover crop gets destroyed, I want to walk out here and let y'all look at it a little bit. Now, this is what a cover crop is supposed to look like. And the biomass is so good out here, we decided we were going to do something else we haven't done for corn planting in quite a while. We're breaking out the roller crimper for this. Normally we just use this for cotton, but because this stuff is so far along and so thick, we're going to crimp all this. Alright, now that we got done with our plots, took us a little bit longer than I thought it would, all that filling up and stuff, but now that we got done, my plan is to get done up here in Windy City. It's a 56-acre farm, but we've already gotten a little over half done with it, and then get moved over there to Campbell Home Place and get most of that farm done, and then I'm going to leave out, I don't know how, 4 or 5 acres for variety trials tomorrow that we're going to be putting in for University of Tennessee Extension and Pioneer, and then that's going to be all the planting we're going to do for a couple days. We got a beautiful stretch of weather coming up, but unfortunately I don't know if y'all heard, but I know I mentioned it on a video last year. Kayla and Jason of Chronicles of Kayla, you know, their son was diagnosed with a tumor and was battling it, and unfortunately he passed away on Saturday. Lost his battle. Just absolutely breaks my heart. You know, Kelly and I have become good friends with Kayla and Jason here for over the last couple of years. You know, we've attended a lot of shows together and stuff, and just my heart goes out for them, and I cannot even begin to imagine what they are going through right now to lose their son. He was 15 years old, I believe. I think he turned 16 this fall, and I know myself and so many others have been praying continuously for healing of Keaton, but apparently it wasn't the Lord's will. But the Lord did answer the prayer that, you know, when the time was come, Keaton go quickly and without much suffering, and that's exactly what happened. After he stopped radiation, I believe the tumor started, I mean, just growing rapidly again. And I know he had just lost his hearing, and he was on the verge of losing his eyesight, and I mean, within the span of just a few days, I mean, he rapidly took a turn for the worse and then passed away, and just our heart goes out to him. But anyway, the visitation for Keaton is tomorrow afternoon, and then the funeral is on Wednesday. Kelly's already headed up to Missouri to be with the family, and then, like I said, I'm going to finish planting today, try and get these 2 farms done, and I'm going to get my variety trials planted first thing tomorrow morning, and then I'm going to head up there for the visitation for the funeral, spend some time with them, and when all that's over with, you know, I'm going to head on back, hopefully be back to planting on Thursday, but just watch Ryan Hall, and we're going to have some weather potentially moving in late this week. I think we'll, unless something changes, I think we'll get Thursday in, but Friday, Saturday, that it might be a little iffy. But so we're gonna miss out on a couple days of planting, but you know, that's fine. We'll get caught up. You know, it's more important that we be there to support our friends, and the corn crop will take care of itself. So we'll get it all worked out. But I'll say this, you know, while it's a sad day for all of us that Keaton left behind, you know, it's not a sad day for Keaton at all. I mean, he's not suffering anymore. We know exactly where he's at. He passed through the pearly gates Saturday morning. There's no doubt in my mind that he's up there in heaven with God right now. Absolutely no doubt in my mind. Keaton professed his faith loudly and often, and there is absolutely no doubt in my mind that he's in heaven and he's up there waiting on us, and it'll probably only seem like the blink of an eye before, you know, we're all up there and get to see him again. So anyway, I just ask if y'all feel led to just please say a prayer for Jason and Kayla and their daughter. I know they've been prepared for this possibility, but to actually have it happen, I mean, I can only imagine what they're going through, and they need all the uplifting, all the prayer, all the strength that they can get. All right, we are fresh back from Missouri and back on the planter. We're going to try and finish up planting our corn crop as quickly as we can. However, we do have weather coming in, potentially starting tomorrow and then kind of off and on for quite a few days. If I can get 2 full hard days in, we should be able to get our corn crop wrapped up. However, I don't know if Mother Nature is going to allow that. Anyway, we just got everything loaded up and moved over here to the Todd farm, and Andy's getting started spraying ahead of me. I think he's enjoying all that track hoe work that we just did, joining all this stuff together. Yeah, Kelly and I got back about 1:30 last night from Missouri. You know, we was up there. Well, Kelly was up there Monday afternoon through Wednesday evening, and then I got up there, you know, Tuesday afternoon, about an hour into visitation. We got back last night about 1:30. You know, we stayed for the visitation. Then the funeral was on Wednesday for Keaton, and anyway, it was over around noon or so. Then we went back to Kayla and Jason and hung out with them for just a little while. Helped Jason get started cutting hay, and then after that, you know, we could tell that, you know, they were wiped out. They just you know, they just wanted to be left alone to do their work. That's exactly how I would feel in that situation. I know when my dad suddenly passed away, that's exactly how I felt. You know, after the funeral, all I wanted to do was go back to what I knew, which was working. And anyway, just heartbreaking. It was a really moving service, and a lot of support from the community and a lot of other people, and I just don't have any words right now to express it, but got to catch up with some people, you know, we haven't seen in a while. You know, I got a good friend, Travis and Bethany Dixon, that farm right up there in that area. They were gracious enough to allow us to stay with them overnight, and then after we got done with Kayla and Jason, you know, I went over there to Travis's before we went home, helped him out a little bit on the farm, helped him get some equipment moved, because he's right in the middle of planting and everything, and he's pretty much a one-man show. And I gotta say, you know, I've been through a lot of Missouri. I haven't been to that particular part of Missouri, but man, it was just absolutely beautiful. It was a long ways from any big city. There were small towns. I mean, you could see, you could feel the small town life. Nice and flat, huge fields, long straight roads, just everybody just courteous. It's different up there than what it is here in West Tennessee. And even though we was up there for the, you know, sole reason of seeing a funeral for a child, you know, the rest of the trip was definitely enjoyable. You know, we got to hang out with some others, like Gavin and Grace, they were there. And anyway, I wish we'd been able to enjoy that trip under a lot different circumstances than what we did. But I'm sure glad that we took the time off from planning to go up there and lend what little support we can. But anyway, after that quick 2-day trip, like I said, we got 2 hard days of planting if we don't have any problems. We got right at 200 acres of corn left to plant, and we got rain supposed to move in, like an 80% chance at sometime tomorrow. But you know, based upon our history so far this spring, I'll believe it when it actually starts falling. But in the 2 days that we've been gone, we've gone from absolutely picture perfect planting conditions to, hey, it's dry again. This time we do have plenty of moisture to get the seed germinated if we do happen to miss the rain, but my down pressure requirements have definitely increased. If all this sounds just kind of jumbled and incoherent, I apologize. I'm dead dog tired. The last 3 hours from St. Louis to our house last night, I felt like I was looking through 10 eyeballs. I had my radio up just as loud as go. I had the windows down, just trying to stay awake. I'm dog tired, and my stuttering is returning with a vengeance, and it's hard for me to form a coherent thought right now. But if we do happen to miss rain tomorrow, which I kind of doubt we will, but if we do happen to miss rain, I mean, we got several more chances of rain coming up the next few days, so I feel very confident that our corn crop is going to get off to a great head start. And we'll actually be done planting, our corn and soybeans, earlier than we have been in quite a few years. And hopefully we'll be able to make a very quick turnaround, and we have warm temperatures, we got a good stretch, and I really hope we can get an early start on our cotton planting. I would absolutely love to have an early cotton crop this year. Get it planted there, the very first part of May, get it up and going, and not be having to worry about it all year long, about growing season, DD60s and all that kind of stuff. Maybe potentially get an early start to cotton harvest. Get my wheat planted earlier this fall, and just and hopefully turn out to be a lower stress than normal season. A lot of that stress is going to rest on whether we get timely rains or not, because we certainly don't have a full tank of gas in the soil starting out. So anyway, this farm is going to be our last farm of conventional corn. Everything we planted up to this point has been straight conventional corn. And then I've got 2 more varieties left, a progeny variety and an Integra variety. The progeny variety is going to be just a straight Roundup Ready variety. It's actually a better version than the progeny that I planted last year that I was so happy with. I think it's 2314 is what I'm planting this year. 9114 I think is what I planted last year, but I think 2314 progeny is a newer and improved version of 9114. It's the same relative maturity, but all the plot data that I looked at last year that had both of them in there, the 2314 was the 2314 was a little bit better pretty much across the board than what 9114 is. So we're going to have it on a good amount of acres, and I'm really excited about it. And then that Integra variety, I've never planted any Integra before, but it looked really good in the few plots that I was able to see it in last year. It's, I think, a 119-day variety. We got a really good bottom that we're going to put it on, and I'm expecting big things out of it. All right, we just finished up over here on Todd Farm, so we're completely done with all our conventional corn, and we need to make sure our planter is cleaned out because we don't want to have a little bit of conventional non-Roundup Ready corn in there, go to the next farm, and then we spray Roundup on the next farm. Otherwise, I won't have a very good stand. So you can see that's about all we had left in our meters. I just turned my electric meters on, let them run till we got all the seed out, and there was very little left in there. So all our meters are clean, and our next variety going to the Baker farm is going to be this progeny 2314, like I said earlier. We've got 8 bags there. We got about 30 acres over there. We got 12 hoppers here. So I've already measured out how many scoops are in each bag. So each bag's got about 6.5 of these 1 gallon scoops in there. So each hopper needs about 4.13 full scoops of seed, and that 8 bags ought to be split evenly over these 12 hoppers, and shouldn't have to get out and even up seed any at all while I'm planting. So we got 6.5 scoops in here, so we need to pull out 2 1/3 full scoops. About like that. And this hopper here has got the right amount of corn in it. And then one of these other hoppers that we put a full bag in, we need to take some of that out and put it in there. we just got done over here at Baker, and I made a boo-boo. The prescription on this farm called for 8.5 bags of seed. Well, I put 8 bags of the progeny seed in there, and then I was going to carry a full bag of Integra in one of the front hoppers in case I ran a little bit short. Well, I forgot to put one of those bags of Integra in the front hoppers, and I got there to that last field and I got the inrows done, like, oh crap, I forgot to do that. So that last field I planted manually and had to drop the population enough to try and stretch those 8 bags of seed I had over the remaining acres. So we're going to have one little field that's going to have a low population study on it, see if we can notice any kind of yield difference come this fall. I mean, I was planting anywhere from 16,000 to 21,000, whereas a prescription would have been calling for probably, you know, 17,000 to 25,000 on that field. Well, we made it, but that last pass I was making, I think I had 3 units start showing that, you know, intermittent seed coming out, so they're pretty much empty. We still got some daylight left. We're gonna try and get down the road, get to Clanton, and get started on a good bottom, but I'm just about out of fertilizer. I'm out of seed, so we got to do a pretty big fill up. Andy warned me about this spot yesterday. He said they were replacing the culvert yesterday, and he had to drive through the subdivision when he was over here spreading chicken litter yesterday. Fortunately, they got the culvert done, and we don't have to drive through the subdivision, because this drive over through here is already bad enough as it is. All right, come on, people. I also made another boo-boo today. When I was coming over here to the Baker farm, was right around 3 o'clock. Well, what happens around 3 o'clock every day? School lets out. And we got a school right here. You can only imagine how brutal that was. I should have waited like 30 minutes and stuff, but I didn't even think about school letting out. And by the time I got over here, it was way too late, and man, I was caught up in a log jam, and I was helping create a log jam too. I tell you one thing, we sure ain't in Missouri anymore driving on those nice wide roads with no traffic.
This wheat is looking pretty good. Came over here a couple weeks ago and sprayed fungicide between those flags so that we can keep that for seed for next year. And you can see off in the distance where Matt changed varieties. The color changes. So most of this farm is non-bearded wheat, and then that lighter color right there, that is bearded wheat. How you can tell the difference. The non-bearded is a lot darker than the bearded wheat. So you can see right there where he changed over. I think he ran out. I always find that really neat because you can't really see that in other crops, but in wheat you definitely can. This field usually does very well with cover crops. I mean, look at that. All the way up to the top of the tires. So we're gonna get to rolling it, and Matt will be over here in a little bit.
All right, we gotta make our way all the way back there. You probably can't see it, but Kelly's way down there in the bottom spraying. And y'all look at that wheat. My goodness, boy, she looks good. And this field over here had Kelly spray 2 passes up here and skip a pass in between, and we're gonna have ourselves a fungicide plot, see if I made the right decision to not spray all of our wheat with a fungicide. I see some flags sticking up. Y'all stay tuned to see if I cost myself more than $31 an acre, which is what it would have cost me to actually spray a fungicide this year. All right, before I fill up and all this cover crop gets destroyed, we'll walk out here and let y'all look at it a little bit. Now, this is what a cover crop is supposed to look like. And look at that. I mean, we got vetch all the way up here. We got, I mean, vigorous balanza clover right there. We got our oats heading out. We got our annual ryegrass heading out. We got our cereal rye just a little bit farther behind. This field last year was soybeans, and then we drilled our cover crop into it. That's why this looks so much different than everything else I've been planting so far, because everything else was double crop soybeans. So it got aerial seeded, or it got drilled a whole lot later than what this did. I mean, we got a picture perfect stand till we got our burn down strips in here, and I'm glad. I mean, we really needed our burn down strips in this right here. But I mean, y'all just look at that. There's a lot of nitrogen production out here. I don't know how much nitrogen production, but this is a field I'm definitely going to reduce my applied nitrogen on this farm right here, because we got all of this nitrogen that's already been produced. And the biomass is so good out here, we decided we were going to do something else we haven't done for corn planting in quite a while. We're breaking out the roller crimper for this. Normally we just use this for cotton, but because this stuff is so far along and so thick, we're going to crimp all this. Because if I were just to plant into this with it standing up like that, it's so thick and tall, it's going to be quite a while after it dies from the spray before it would fall down, and we would actually probably have problems with shading our corn, and we don't want that. So that roller crimper is going to put this flat on the ground. I'm going to get it starting to decompose, getting all that nitrogen being released back into the soil. Going to give us fantastic weed control down here, and then also not going to have a problem with it shading that corn as it's coming out of the ground, and it ought to be able to hit the ground running. And we're going to have those two little streams of nitrogen right there on either side of the seed. I'm expecting big things out of this farm this year, and I'm expecting big things without a whole lot of cost. Like I said, we're going to be reducing our nitrogen rate, so you know, this could potentially be one of the cheapest fields of corn that we grow. Then, like I said earlier, this variety right here, this Integra 6915, this is the only BT variety that we're planting this year. It's 119-day corn, and I mean, it really showed out in UT's plots last year. And the cost on this seed is quite a bit cheaper than your other fully traded brands, you know, from Pioneer or DeKalb or whatever else, and it's done good. I'm not going to say what I paid for this seed. I'm not opening up that can of worms. I realize that I've been a little too forthcoming and some of the data that I've been giving out. But I know Dylan Joy started planting a little bit of Integra last year, and he really liked it. And you know, when I saw how well this one did in UT's full season plots last year, you know, along with 6835, you know, we've got some 6837 ourselves, which is the conventional version of 6835. You know, I wanted to split the ground that we're planting our full season corn up. I wanted to split it into at least two different varieties, and this was another real good candidate. So got a hold with Dylan. He gave me the contact for his dealer up there, so ordered enough this Integra seed to plant this farm. And then Dylan was nice enough, when he drove up there to pick up his seed, we were just slap busy. He actually picked up my seed and brought it down here to the farm. So anyway, like I said, I'm expecting big things out of this farm this year. Hopefully the weather cooperates and we make a whole lot of trips out of here with a semi truck this fall.